Hello and welcome. We are live here for IDMC round 6 at the Hockenheim GP ring. I am your host for tonight. It is not Jack Cunan and Kevin Galvin, but the one and only Niall Maher, and I'm joined here by our super celebrity guest tonight, Lawrence Dusoswa. How are you, Lawrence?
I'm great, thanks, Niall. I'm delighted to be here.
Oh, we lost Lawrence
I
already.
was sorry. I'm getting some feedback in the background there. I'm just going to sort that out. As you can tell, I'm very professional. Here we go. There we go. I thought you were interrupting me, but it was the background. Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I was surprised earlier when I got the call about 2.5 hours ago
Yeah.
to fill in tonight. But as you know, I guess that's why you called me. I've been watching every single race so far. I can't wait to see what happens tonight. It's absolutely just incredible, the racing that we've seen. It's unreal to see people at the top of the leaderboard who haven't typically been at the top of the leaderboard. The Pro-Ams are putting it up. They're close to that top 10 in every race. The Pro-Ams are finishing really, really strong, and anything can happen. It's really, really exciting.
Do you know what? I've just been waiting for this for so long to pull this up, right? Like IDMC, TCR Championship Round 6, commentators, Niall Maher and Lawrence Dusoswa. That's just, for anyone who's watching this stream, like myself and Lawrence have just been dreaming of this for I don't know how many years, but this is it. It's all coming down to this championship tonight. Jack, where I hope I know you said he was stuck in traffic or he couldn't make it, so he's obviously listening in wherever it is. We love you, buddy. Stay safe. Get back as soon as you can. And I just got a message, Lawrence, right, from Kevin saying he's going to try and make this. So don't be surprised if at some moment in time we just get a big "How's it going?" and it's Kevin jumping in. But it'd be great if we could all be on this. So what I'm just going to do right now is just pull up the championship points and let's have a look at how close this is at the top. Like this is not counts for anyone who's watching in. We've got a dropped round, so tonight's round can't be dropped, Lawrence. So basically, what we're looking at is these top 6 all the way down to Josh Mallon, maybe even Ronan Doherty, depending on what way the drop rounds pan out. We're hoping to have those championship points figured out at the end of the race during the interview, so stick with us for that. But
Brilliant.
Navid currently topping the timing, and get this, he's only 200ths of a second away from where James Holman is currently at P2, Keith Dempsey in P3, Ronan Doherty P4. So this championship is wide open. Jason Cooper currently just 0.2 of a second off the pace as well. And I haven't seen Josh Mallon. He is actually, as I say that, he's putting in a time in the top 50. So this is going to be uber tight. As I look at the timings right now, all the way back to top 20 is split. And as I say, that 21 is separated by a second. So
It's
the
and it's incredible, Niall, because any one of those top 20 drivers, even the top 30 drivers here, could win races tonight. We've all seen them get close or even win feature events and heat events as well. And what really strikes me, I know there's a lot going on at the top, but if you look from position 8 all the way to position 16 or so,
yeah,
there's nothing in it.
yeah,
So if
exactly,
you
yeah.
were to put this side by side, beside what it's going to look like at the end of the night, you may as well shuffle them randomly.
Yeah, and I've just had a very, how do you say, not irate, but a very factual Ronan Hederman tell me, Niall, these are with the dropped round. So how about that? I got that completely wrong. This is it, Lawrence. This is the
Well,
championship on the screen in front of us. So
that
let's,
makes a lot of sense. They're so tightly packed. If you see like seventh, eighth, ninth, they're it's I. I would be very nervous if I was those drivers, but I would also look at the bright side and say this is anybody's. You know, you can do extremely well here tonight. I know the fight at the top is a little bit out of reach, but the mid table, I mean, that's where you want to prepare for next season.
yeah, and this just shows we brought Ronan on board for this season, and it just shows how much prepared we are that we actually have these live points coming in. So hats off, Ronan, for that one. Over on the pro-am side, like you've driven in this class, you know how competitive it is. Like I wouldn't even get it. I wouldn't even get onto this grid, right? But for Sean McGovern to really dominate up where he is, it just shows how much he's come along as a driver. And then, like, take it all the way down to Victor Cullen. Victor's well able here to put in a double win, right? And I'm just really
Definitely.
watching this so closely because Simon Wall currently topping the timings, but this is wide open as well. So we've got 2 championships coming down right to the wire. Let's go to the timings and see what have we got on that side. So we've got Navid
There's
currently
nothing in it.
is absolutely, look at the timing on it, right? You've got a gap all the way down to well, yeah, definitely top 2021, less than a second, guys. So this don't, if you're not, as Jack says, if you're not watching this, why aren't you? This is going to be some of the best racing in esports that you're certainly going to get on a Wednesday night. So let's go
And
back to
as you say, Niall, I've raced in both pro and pro-am in these, and I've been sim racing for years now, and the standard is just incredible, and it's only gotten better. I haven't done a couple of seasons now. I will be back at some stage to do some driving, but it was really kind of a wake-up call for me that I need to do as much practice as these people do, because they put in so much work. It's incredible.
And we're just coming to the end right now of our qualifying session, so we're going to get those times very soon. We just watched Ronan Fox putting in his last lap around, but currently it's Navid on pole as we do get to the end of that, and we'll just wait for our qualifying results to pop up, and this should be it as if by magic. Let's just see if we can get that right now. Yeah, that is it. So we're just going to go back to the start of the grid. But so they're already onto the grid at this point, and topping it out is Navid Hussein. So like, what can we say more than, are we surprised at that at this stage? The guy's
He,
been
for me, he's been my standout driver of the season. He's had some good luck, he's had some bad luck, but he's made his own luck. The amount of times he has passed people, I'd be surprised if there are more people who have featured in the top 15 who have passed more cars than Navid has, because he's incredible. His positioning, his discipline, and everything. He definitely deserves this championship, but there are too many people trying to upset him tonight, I think.
Let's just have a quick look at the Pro-Am grid, because this is the one to watch as well. Simon Wall with Sean McGovern, 2/10 in it at the end, so that's one to watch as well. But let's get ready for this race, because this is all going to come down to, for me, it's going to be the hairpin, which I think is turn 6, that I'm going to be watching most closely. But we are ready for lights out here, and this is it in round 6 of the IDMC TCR Championship. I'm going to put you on the spot. You know, as the cars grid up, who are you going to call at this stage before the lights go out? Who's going to be?
I want Navid. I want Navid to win it, and I think
and we're lights out. We're away.
I've been keeping an eye on Sean McGovern, so I'm
going to call it. I'm going to tip for Jordan Kelly as the dark horse this one, but it's Navid that leads them into third one. James Holman closely in behind, with Josh Mallon up to third place, making that position, and Keith Dempsey tucking in behind Mallon with Jordan Kelly. It's a very clean start at the start to get away. So all drive very disciplined. We call this out in driver's briefing just to watch for the track cuts and everything, but that's a very clean start for this race.
They know what this means tonight. Imagine going for a championship and seeing Keith Dempsey, Jordan Kelly, people who are not in contention between you and your championship rivals, the likes of Jason Cooper and that. This is incredibly tense. I can only imagine what they're feeling right now. I'm glad they can't hear us.
It's unbelievable. And down at the back of the pack, I'm just watching closely. Simon Wall has been in a bit of bother. So, and Victor Cullen as well, actually dropping back. So there's been all types of drama at the back of the Pro-Am. But let's go back to Navid at the front. He's already extended that lead. Look at that, over James Holman and Josh Mallon in third place, with Keith Dempsey falling right in behind Josh Mallon. Then the other VRA driver of Jordan Kelly down in 6th place. And all important, let's keep an eye on Jason Cooper as well. Jason in contention for this championship.
Exactly. Jason's going to be hoping that someone like Keith Dempsey or Jordan Kelly, incredibly fast drivers, get up beside Navid, because Naveed is very good at charging through the pack. Naveed is very good at leading. Once he's side by side, you can see some of those errors slipping in, and that's what I think Jason Cooper wants. Jason Cooper has the pace, we know that. He's going to do quite well in this race. Even if he stays there, he's going to be in a good position for the reverse grid, but he's not going to be happy with 6th place. He's going to push hard.
And as we watch Naveed just coming over the line, in the background, I was just paying attention there, Sean McGovern is leading the Pro-Am class, so that's pretty much what we were saying he needs to do. He's dominating in Pro-Am. If he wins this race, that could be a call, I think. So
exactly, yeah. And you know, he's rubbing shoulders with Wayne Douglas and Rory O'Shea, and you know, he deserves to. I mean, he's up into P11 now. He deserves to be a pro at this stage.
Absolutely, and we're looking back. Victor Cullen with it all to do. He's up 3 places, and you can see he's battling his way. He's obviously got the pace. There's no damage on that car. But let's go back up the front, because Josh Mallon under considerable pressure now. He's got Keith Dempsey. No, and there is contact in the back. I was going to say with Jordan Kelly. So that's Jordan getting in the way of everyone as he got damage onto the car. It looks like it could be the end of Jordan Kelly's race. So let's just keep an eye on that. That is a real pity, yeah, for sure. So back up to the front. Keith Dempsey's on a real charge now, Lawrence. As I say that, he gets an undercut by Jason Cooper. So he picked up some damage as well. As now he's got mold all over the back of him. So maybe he has.
Hopefully the damage isn't too bad. I think the big winner there was Josh. It's a shame to see Jordan dropping back like that, because he definitely has the pace. So that's a real pity. Of course, you've driven at this track loads and loads of times as well. I've driven here loads. This type of car, this type of touring car, DTM style, you know, with the road car equivalent, you have been through these corners. These are incredibly difficult corners, and these guys are making it look easy. It has been incredibly clean. Even that contact we saw there between Jordan and Keith Dempsey was very close. It wasn't a rough incident. It looked like a racing incident to me, but who am I to judge?
Yeah, and as we're saying that, it does look to me like Keith has picked up some damage to that car, because he's just falling back, right? So the front bumper just hanging off it now, so it'll have all types of impact on that car as he moves forward. That's Rory O'Shea gone ahead, so that's unfortunate to see as well. But just let's go back up the front. Naveed putting in the fastest lap of the race, but he's being hunted down with James Holman.
He is being hunted. You're 100%. You're on the money. Luckily for us, though, Jordan and Keith, of course, are not in contention for the top spots at the moment. So let's hope that it stays clean between everybody else. It has been incredibly clean. The hairpin does seem to be the corner where people tend to concertina and bunch up a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at Sean McGovern here. He's really up boxing with all the pros, and that's where he should be racing next, in my opinion. But like, for a young driver, it just shows he's I think this is rookie year with us. Went well in the previous seasons, but he's really shining in this TCR championship, and hats off to him. He's right on the back of Keith Dempsey now.
Yeah, it's incredible. These cars suit some people and they really don't suit some others. We see some people who always do extremely well in our, GT style classes, our rear wheel drives, even our open wheelers, and they just struggle to get to grips with that front wheel, because these are front wheel drive after all. So you kind of have to point where you want to go and floor it to keep it straight, and the lift off oversteer is something chronic.
It is, yeah. I was just looking, every time, I was going to say, we go for Nicky Meredith as he enters the pits. Every time we go to the camera, we say something about Nicky. It's always the commentator's curse, and there, obviously, it is again as Nicky goes into the pits. So let's go back up to our leader. Let's try and ride on board now with James Holman, who just seems to be able to keep on the back bumper of Naveed, which is saying something, Lawrence, because Naveed
Definitely.
is ultimate pace around here. So let's just ride on board with James for a while.
Naveed, of course, is breaking the air in front of him. There's nobody in front of him streamlining. On each of these straights, we're going to see James pull up in behind. That's why Naveed is going a little bit defensive. As soon as he knows that there's no way James is going to go for that move, he goes back to the racing line. But he wants to keep James just far enough away so that James doesn't get that opportunity. Naveed can't be caught napping, but he also has to concentrate on what he's doing. So it's a really tough situation to lead a race like this. Luckily, Naveed has a lot of experience doing that, but this is a great view. I could watch this for the rest of the stream.
Yeah, and as we were saying that, like, this is the shorter of the two races, so this is the heat race, which is 10 laps. But again, like, it takes a while for the tires to come up. Then you can't be cooking the tires at this stage. We're into lap 4, so we're coming up to halfway, and we'll start to see that now. But by lap 6, these guys really start managing tires, managing just how much brake, wheel spin, turning they're putting onto those tires. Because once you start punishing them, and we will see it in the feature race, the tires will start falling off by the end.
Exactly. A lot of people talk about the different tire models and the different simulators. Some people don't really like the iRacing tire model. Personally, I quite like the way that everything behaves, the way your tires, the condition of your tires, the way you need to protect them, you need to nurse them, the way it actually makes a difference plays a huge factor. So when you are chasing someone, you need to make sure that you're being very selective about when you punish your tires. It's exactly like you'd expect in real life. So sometimes you see these people maybe not going for the opportunities, or maybe not creating the opportunities that they could be creating. It's simply because they're biding their time. These races are long. These people are experienced. As we can see, a lovely move there up the inside. There's Sean McGovern in the top 10 of Pro.
Robert Moore's not giving up on this one too easy. But as we were saying that, I'm just looking up and down the grid. We've still got everyone in, but unfortunately Victor Cullen has retired, as has Sergey Grabin. So that's not great for the championship. And Keith Dempsey back down in 22nd place. So Keith obviously picking up that damage to the car from that collision with Jordan. So I'm sure that the stewards are going to be having a look at that. But this is just door to door now between Robert and Sean McGovern. I think Robert's just managed to nose ahead. He has, but this is great racing, Lawrence.
It's incredible, and like there are loads of, if you look at those timings, we see loads of positions being swapped, not just here. We can't look at them all at the same time, but if you look ahead, there's a battle. Look behind, there's a battle. Every time there's a battle on track, it gives an opportunity for the cars behind to actually catch up, because battling generally slows people down. The best battlers in the world, again, they're selective about when they do their battles, because they don't want to slow themselves down too much, because you're just slowing down the other person when you battle with them. So you don't want to invite someone else into the battle. What can happen at the front of this pack here, if they get too close, they're inviting 7, 8, 9, 10 cars into that battle. That's not what you want to do. You need to be clever here. You really need to bide your time.
And as we were saying that, we're looking at one man who is very much sings off that hymn book, up 6 places, Peter McCann. And as we were saying that, we actually just even seen Neil Ferrer and I think it was Paul King coming together, and then Peter was able to capitalise on that. Let's go back up front with Naveed. He's managed to pull out a little bit of a gap back to James Hammond at this stage, but James still keeping an eye in there.
Yeah, James now is thinking that the further he gets back, the less slipstream he's going to get. If Naveed keeps pulling that gap, James is going to lose his relative advantage that he has from a slipstream point of view. Now, what's going to happen there is that James might start overdriving the car, which again broadens that gap. Naveed, of course, he's looking at that relative time. He knows there are 0.56 seconds in it, but he also knows this track inside out. He knows he's been leading since the start, and he's doing incredibly well. So I think the discipline will pay off for him. All James needs to do is remind Naveed at every corner that he's there.
Yeah, that's it. Now, as we're looking at it back down through the grid, just looking back down, as you said, there's just battles everywhere. You look at this.
Everywhere.
This is Robert Moore. In behind, you got Sean McGovern, and I'm just like, exactly as we're saying that, it's like, guess who's right behind him now? Simon Walls just onto the back bumper of Sean McGovern. So this is, for the championship, really, it's Simon Wall and Sean McGovern going at it. So let's keep a close eye on that battle. Because something's happened back. So I'm just looking here. Naveed is out in front. I was looking at the wrong timings. I think James Holman might have some high ping rate or something. His car's coming and going on screens, but right. I thought for a second he'd gone off the back of the bumper by 2 seconds, but now he's closing up and he's keeping that gap in around 6/10. So James actually closing up.
That Pro-Am battle is really, really saucy at the moment. Inside in that pack that they're in, anything can happen. They have to keep it clean. Pro-Am, of course, doesn't necessarily mean that people are less experienced or anything. So oftentimes you'll see people who are in Pro-Am being able to put it up against the
And
pros like
here's the
this. As
move.
we see here, what a move.
Here's the championship move. So this is the Pro-Am right in front of our very eyes. So this is Simon Wall manages to hang on to that. Sean McGovern. There's Liam Matthews in behind him as well. And then the pro guys are coming into the mix of Adam Dowling and Wayne Douglas. So this is just...
Simon Wall is in that dreamland of simulation when you get to just enjoy it. But when you're going for championship points, it's a little bit of a nightmare. And he needs to manage this so well because he's under attack, he's defending, and he doesn't know if it's his championship rival or if it's some other pro that's right behind him or right in front of him. There's so much going on. He has so much to process. All he can do is stay focused. It's completely intense. How long has
banging the door for Liam Matthews on Sean McGovern right in behind, we're just saying. So these guys are catching in, so let's stick with this for a while. But
it's crazy, it's incredible. Look at that for a line of cars.
It's great to see, isn't it?
It's amazing. It looks like lap 1. They're so close.
Yeah, and 3 laps to go, but I'm just looking in, just so we say that, onto the back bumper of Josh Malin, all of a sudden championship contender Jason Cooper's in there as well, so it's all happening on track now, Lawrence.
Incredible. And look, he's pushing Josh to the absolute edges of the track. Josh would have picked up a 1x for that off track there, but it just shows, and Jason's going to know that Josh is under pressure. Josh is not crumbling, but the cracks are showing. He's going to try to take advantage. Again, he's got that slipstream. There are going to be moves in this battle. I've already seen them get very, very close at times, so this is going to be yet another good battle. Really, we need a 6-way split screen here.
Yeah, and as I'm saying that, look at this. James Holman has brought in another 210, so he's closed it into under a half second. So let's ride on board with James Holman again and just see exactly what actually let's go from this stage and just see where is he getting that, where is he closing in, because is it down the straights that he's actually closing in on, which I think it is.
On the straights he's definitely getting him, but Naveed must have made a mistake there because they were quite early in that long straight for him to be within 3/10. So anything could have happened there. We didn't see it on camera here because we were looking at some of the other battles.
Here we go. This is the move.
Here we go. Around the outside, very difficult to make that stick.
Look who's coming in right onto the back of him now is Dan Moll. So this is your championship right in front of you here, already happening on lap 8 of the heat race, Lawrence.
Exactly, and Dan has been incredible as well. Like a lot of these guys have just knocked it out of the park from a driving standards point of view. It's just been incredible.
Yeah, let's go back down and see where Sean McGovern is. He's managed to get a bit of a gap, but look at that gaggle of cars in behind. It's all happening back there.
It's amazing. We've got loads of people on the live chat that are all shouting for their best drivers. So big shout out to the live chat. Give us a shout. We'll give you a shout out, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget about picking your driver of the race. Of course, I've got it. Cooper's got him in the background. He's managed to make the move. We missed it, but he got him on the straight.
Here we go. Switch back. Oh, and he's got the inside. Oh, he's definitely got it. Josh Malin has it here. So Josh, of course, using all his real-life racing experience there, he knew that even if he ran wide out of that first corner, that he would still maintain the position because he had the inside for the next corner. Josh just trying to control the track position right now.
And you're 100% right, but look where Dan Mold is using all of this air that's being broken up. So Cooper's got the run now. He's getting defensive. That's his move.
Here we go.
Laid on the brakes, but look, Cooper. Oh no!
Oh my God!
Dan cut off the cutback that Cooper was looking for, so that really worked out for Josh.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. It's almost like Josh set that up so that the two would forget that they're both there and then all of a sudden find themselves in a battle. It's allowed Josh to get away slightly, ever so slightly, but the two guys behind Josh are as close as Jason is to Josh. So
let's go back up to front because now we have, so it's Naveed from Jason Holman. Look back, you've got Josh, Jason and Dan all in that. Ronan Doherty is now closing up on the back of them after all of that. So we've got more to come with just 2 laps to go. You're on lap 9 actually.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And like the reverse grid is always extremely exciting because we have all these people who we know can win a race. We know at this stage. In the early days, maybe 15th place wasn't as fast as first place. That's not the case anymore. Anybody can win a race, and we see it time and time again. The people who do qualify, they may have finished 15th in the first race, but they in the feature race they start on the front, and they often stay at the front or top three, top five, and they fight for their life. No love is lost here. Nobody cares about people who are fighting for a championship. It's all about winning each and every race.
Oh, look at this, Lawrence. So we've got car number 25 and 26. That's Keith Dempsey, and I'm just trying to see who car 26, Paul King, under investigation. So this, or car 6, sorry, I've been told, is Jordan Kelly. So that's under investigation. Apologies, that's the wrong number. It's 25 and 6. So we look at the front. This is James Holman with a move on the last lap. So he's closed right onto the back. James Holman, let's ride on board if we can. And just see how this is looking for James Holman. That was some dive up the inside, Lawrence.
Amazing. He's after putting himself slightly out of position though, and he's lost a little bit of time, but it could have stuck and he could have been right in there. Naveed might get nervous here, but that was a hell of a brave move. He had to do something.
Yeah, it looked like a Hail Mary from a long way back, but he's flashing his lights, James. He's trying everything to put Naveed off. I don't think it's going to work. So again, we're looking at Naveed really just from pole, leading every lap, and he's just been dominant in this TCR so far. So that will
exactly,
do.
but we do have, it's the point spread is obviously more favorable if you finish in first, but James is still in second. Jason Cooper's there in fourth. Dan Mould is there in fifth. So they're all picking up great points. Josh Malin as well. They're all picking up great points, so it's not decided.
And there it is, the win for Naveed with James Holman behind, Josh Malin taking third, followed by Jason Cooper and Dan Mould. And now let's go back to Sean McGovern and just see. So it's Simon Wall who actually crosses the line. I had that wrong. Wins the race, so that really opens up the championship as Sean McGovern finishes in second place. So we've got it all to play for here. And then just on pole for the next race, it looks like it's going to be Adam Dowling, and if I'm not mistaken, could be Brian McManus sitting beside him with Neil Ferrer. So I don't what do we do from here? That's exactly what we wanted from a race point of view. So let's wait for the final confirmation of race. But while we're waiting on that, we're just going to go for a quick ad from our own Rob King. Back in a second.
Are you looking to get involved in sim racing or to upgrade your existing sim equipment? Digital-Motorsports.com are the world's leading one-stop sim racing shop. We stock everything from wheels, pedals, PCs, cockpits, right through to fully built custom turnkey sim solutions built to meet your specific requirements. We're official distributors for the best brands including SimLab, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, Cube Controls, Husingveld, SimiCube, SIMTAG, Next Level Racing, Grid Engineering and many more. We offer fast, reliable worldwide shipping via DHL, and we also run some of the most competitive online racing leagues in the world. Check out digitalmotorsports.com today.
They say that perfection doesn't exist in this game. Most players just don't have it in them. But those who dare to seek it might catch excellence. And that sounds perfect to me. So, I'm done playing. Let's drive.
Whoa, so we're just going to get the results up here, Lawrence, but just for everyone, so that's the Heat 1. We just got the Pro overall results now, just wait for that. I'm trying to get my breath back. That was a bit insane, but Naveed picking up 50 points, James Holman picking up 40 points for second place, and Josh Malin. So, of course, we're going to have to wait until the end to see what that means to the actual championship itself. The guys are just warming up on track at the moment. But, yeah, I do need a second to kind of catch my breath on that one. Confirmation
so it definitely
of the Pro-Ams. Simon Wall, Sean McGovern, go ahead.
No, it definitely puts Naveed in a great position. He only needs like a top 15, I think, in the next race, but he's going to be going for that number one.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, I'm clicking away in the background here just to see if I can get the results up. But that does really open up the Pro Championship as we just look back down through those results again. And as we're looking at this, it's you know, for anyone who's listening in, don't forget we've got a set of SIMTAG red editions to give away. So while you're tapping away and hitting that like and share and subscribe button, make sure and enter you know who you think the driver of this round is. We still got the feature, of course, to come. That's coming up in the next 3 minutes, and we'll be announcing the winner of that tomorrow on our Digital Motorsports social channel. So you've still got a chance. Get your name in. I'm putting my name in, Lawrence. Don't know about you. You should get your name in there as well. Set a SIMTAG Racer edition in red. How cool is that?
Yeah, oh my God, they're incredible. I've never had the privilege of actually using them. I've used a lot of pedals, but yeah, people are going to be very suspicious when I win them.
Yeah, same as.
We've got someone on the chat just saying that, Niall, your volume needs to come up slightly.
It's about the only time anyone's ever said that to me. Whoever that was, thank you. You know? I'll take that.
Niall can be plenty loud when he wants to be,
I
guys.
can be plenty loud, but no, thanks for that.
We have a huge following on the YouTube channel right now chatting. They're all extremely excited. A lot of the excitement that we've been expressing seems to be echoed in the chat. Yeah, very, very exciting. Let's have a look at those Pro-Am results.
Yeah, let's pull them up again. We're just waiting for the guys to go out. I can't see how I get my mic any louder than this. This is as good as mic gets. Maybe I just need a better mic. But thank you for making that comment.
You sound fine to me. So
oh, thanks.
If that's any consolation.
Okay, so there's our Pro-Am results. 8 drivers out with us. Victor Cullen, crushed for him. Big fan of Victor, actually. He always races. He comes in, he races hard. Does great interviews at the end. And I don't know really what happened, but he didn't get to finish race. But look at that. He managed to get 75% of the race done. So he picked up 26 points in the end. So that may play out in the end. But Simon Walsh, Sean McGovern, they're the guys to watch as we go into the feature race, which is about 2 minutes away. So let's just talk about that. I know you're not racing with us this time out, Lawrence, but if you were, what would you be thinking right now as you're heading into the final race of the series?
Oh, you know, with so many cars around, such massive grids and all that, having to concentrate on who you're battling and all that. You know, the people who know they have a shot of 4th place or 5th place or 6th place or whatever, they all know that. They're all very, very aware. They want to do as well as possible, and they don't really care about the pros who get in their way. That's kind of the mentality that you need to have. I'd like to think that I think that way. These people who are driving here don't actually see an amateur or, you know, a pro-am and a pro grid. They see their peers on track, and it doesn't matter if you finish 1st or 10th or whatever. They're driving as well as they can, and afterwards they get a leaderboard, but really what matters is what happens on track.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's all about this race right now. As I'm like in my mind, like you can't see really beyond Navid at this stage. Well, you know, we certainly with the displays he's just been putting on, but you know, as we look here at Jason Cooper, I trying to get the championship points up so we can just see, but it's really going to come down. Like the reverse grid can just be an absolute mess. If it goes wrong in the first lap or two, it's anybody's race at that stage, right?
Exactly, and of course Jason didn't have as good a finish in the heat race there. So coming into the feature race, he has a couple of grid places advantage. So as long as he can get as good a start as Navid does, we know Navid carves through the pack. He absolutely just blitzes people as if they're not there. He is in a league of his own on cold tires and on hot tires. But where there's traffic, there could be incidents coming into, as I said, the hairpin. He may find himself in trouble and not being able to carve through as quickly as he'd like to.
So we've got our grid now. I am looking for this. This is the ultimate, in my mind, turn 1 battle right now. Adam Dowling versus Tony Stack. These guys are not going to give each other an inch into that first corner. Followed by Wayne Douglas and Liam Matthews. Then look at that, the two Pro-Ams, Sean McGovern, Simon Wall. That's for the championship right there, lap 1. Fabrizio Rivera, Robert Moore, Rory O'Shea, Ronan Doherty, Dan Mould, Jason Cooper back in 12th. What about that for a first 12-car lineup, Florence?
Unbelievable. You know, any other situation, those pro-ams might be thinking, if there's a pro, if they're in contention for a championship.
Sorry, as we're
oh, there we
chatting
go.
about that. They didn't even get the lights out on this one. It was just straight away. So let's watch this. It's Adam Dowling, Tony Stack. As I said, Tony's not going to give him an inch to clean it up through. Wayne Douglas right up behind him. And let's keep an eye in behind as Sean McGovern makes his moves in for the Pro-Am. So Sean has managed to get ahead of Simon Wall. So all action happening up front, but look at this. Adams managed to keep Tony behind. It's from Wayne Douglas. And as I look at it, Simon Wall down. He's fallen back, Lawrence. So he is, as someone goes off on the grass. I think that's Dan Mould. But
Yeah, see, Josh
McGovern up front as well. So Sean getting a flyer of a start.
Naveed is up 2 places, which is good for any driver, but for Naveed at this stage, he'll be disappointed with that. Josh, on the other hand, is up 3 places. Dan Mould is up 2 places. Rory O'Shea is there, up a couple of places. This is incredible, and it's so clean. Look at the size of that pack.
Off to everybody, because that is all the way back down as we'll go back to the front in a second, but that is everybody down from the back through the hairpin. So back out in front, Adam Dowling using all of the track and then some, allows Wayne Douglas, who's now managed to get past Tony Stack, up onto that back bumper. And behind, look at all the time, Sean McGovern's there. He's keeping with these guys, and he's proven, hey, I'm not Pro-Am anymore, give me that pro drive, and he's proven it.
Exactly, and you know, these corners, there's so many lefts, so many rights. In lots of tracks, you get a lot more wear on one side than the other because of just the orientation. You tend not to have corners in one direction. Here, they're left, right. They're blind corners, they're fast corners, slow corners. So the standard just has to be incredible to put on a display like this.
And that's all you get to see is just the back bumper of that car as we get right on board with Wayne Douglas. See, he hunts down Adam Dowling with Tony Stack in behind him. And we've just lost Wayne Douglas actually, but he's coming back, so let's watch this move now.
And I'm not sure if people are seeing the timing screen on the stream there. I can see it in a separate window, but I can't see it on the stream preview. There we go, right, that's now what they want to see. So that shows us Wayne Douglas.
Oh, keep your foot in, Wayne.
Yeah.
To the grass. That is certainly one for the race stewards to have a look back on, as Adam now has.
We're definitely going to see that flash up.
The back of him, so we'll leave that one to the race stewards. But now Tony's got a run on Adam, as Wayne Douglas has managed to rejoin back in 8th place. So Tony getting the job done. I'm just wondering, did Adam make that look a little bit too easy for him? And all the time, look at this, Sean McGovern's right up there. He's like, I just don't want to win Pro-Am, I want to win the whole race. So. Yeah,
Adam was in the inside there, but that obviously compromises his exit a little bit. So Tony was able to get on the power. Oh no!
That's a big coming down. That's damage to Sean McGovern's
That's
car.
Sean McGovern.
Oh no, what's happened there? It's Tony Stack as well. I don't know, there's been a big coming together, so that's what promoted Fabrizio Rivera up into first place. We'll have to get the stewards to have a look at that. They're saying car 19, car 3 under investigation, car 6, car 25. The incidents are just rolling in on my ear here as we're saying that.
And we also
crushing.
Something also happened to Simon Wall. He's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this. I think that's Sean McGovern out of the race. That's crushing. Keith Dempsey's out as well. So let's go back up front. So we got James Holman as he come down the straight. So that's
a pity. It looks like there was a little bit of contact, and Sean McGovern was sent flying. Couldn't stop the car, and actually ended up hitting the front runners as he cut across that grass. Horrible incident.
Yeah, and as I said, the investigators, the stewards are investigating that. So as we ride up front, this is a man who's now pulling away and getting legs over Liam Matthews with Rory O'Shea. And look at this, Josh Mallon right onto the back of Rory O'Shea. So this kicks things wide open as we go back. Naveed is now back down in 10th place. Look at that for making up places, Lawrence. He's really shown up 5 places since the start of the race.
Yeah, it's like that game show, The Chase. We've got Jason Cooper and Naveed having to respond to each other. Jason, of course, is in P7 right now, and Naveed is chasing hard. Jason needs to make up some positions as well, otherwise he's going to find Naveed on his back bumper.
Let's stick with these three because Wayne Douglas has managed, as Josh Mallon makes a move and Liam Matthews up for second place up the inside, but now I'm sure Liam is going to come back at him. And I think Josh has managed to make that stick, but as we look in the background, Wayne Douglas is straight back up there as well. So race on as Dan Moulton manages to get ahead of Wayne Douglas. So it's all happening. And as I say that, Wayne Douglas falls back down the grid, so he's off track again. I'm wondering, is he carrying some damage at this stage, Lawrence?
Yeah, no, I'm not sure what the story is there. He did have a little coming together there, but I'm not sure what the story is. Of course, for the people, a reminder on the stream, the people in the pro class to keep an eye on, the ones who are up in the top 5 are Naveed Hussain, Jason Cooper, Dan Mould, James Holman and Rory O'Shea. They're all well up there. Now, Jason Cooper and Naveed Hussain do have a substantial lead, so they are our 2 pros that we need to be watching. As for Pro-Am, Sean McGovern, Simon Wall, Michael Seal is there as well, and Dave Collier and Victor Cullen. They're kind of the top 5, and we're going to see them shuffle around as well. Just in case you're wondering why we're focusing on those drivers, this is the last race of the championship. This is the important one. They were allowed to drop around, but not this one. And this is the display that we're seeing tonight. The drama and everything, I can't keep up.
Yeah. I tell you what, for 2 guys who just jumped in with not much notice, we're doing okay, Lawrence. I hope Kevin and Jack are paying attention, because we're just beside ourselves. What a race for those guys to miss out on. It's happening everywhere on the track.
So we're in the privileged position that we've got some insider information here. We've got Harry McGovern on the stream saying Sean got hit from behind, and that's what happened. When you guys on the stream saw that red car hit the 2 leaders, he was actually punted a little bit. Maybe he braked slightly earlier than the car behind him was expecting. In general, in these races, the braking zones are fairly well, people are used to them, and it's usually the onus is on the car behind. But luckily, Niall, that's not our job.
It's not our job, but that is unfortunate for Sean. He was, as I said, he was gunning to win the race, right? He was right up there, and that is unfortunate, but that is racing, and we'll leave that to our stewards to investigate. As we look at Dan Mould going neck and neck with Liam Matthews.
Look at that pack.
This is a great
Look
bit
at that
of battling.
pack. It's incredible to think that this is an important race and not just a group of buddies trying to get as close as possible to each other. They are going flat out, and it must be said as well, the times that these drivers are doing are up there with the best in the world. I know this is mainly a grid of Irish drivers, and it's mainly Irish based. There are lots of European drivers here, people from all over the world, but the standard is world class. So if you know any fast drivers, I invite you to get them to test their mettle against these drivers, because I can tell you firsthand, it's a humbling experience.
It certainly is. And when you're talking about like people like, you know, Keith Dempsey is out of this race, unfortunately, having a bad season in the TCRs, and as I say, that Ronan Doherty falling down. You have drivers like Josh Mallon currently. As we look at Josh reeling up the back of Fabrizio Rivera, these are serious drivers. You have someone like Jordan Kelly down in 22nd place, struggling to make up 5 places, and then, you know, pick any driver, Jason Smith on the grid. Any of these drivers are world class, right? So Naveed, as we say that, he's up 8 places now, Lawrence.
So I think we actually have a battle going on between Fabrizio Rivera and Josh Malin, which is Fabrizio, of course. We haven't seen him up there throughout the season. He got a decent position for this reverse grid, and right now it seems to me, I was looking at the timings, seems to me like he's putting on a defensive masterclass. Josh is biding his time. Josh has plenty of real world experience as well. So wait for the. I think when this move comes, and this move is going to come within the next lap or two, I think it's going to be incredible. And I think Fabrizio is good enough to acknowledge that the move has been made. This is going to be the battle to watch right now, I think.
Yeah, for sure. We just look back. Let's go back up to our front runners. Fabrizio Rivera would love nothing more than to come onto our Discord server after this and rub everybody's nose in it, Lawrence, to tell us all that and how much he deserved this win, because he is putting on an absolute masterclass in defensive driving right now.
We see Josh up in the top 3 all the time. He loves these cars. He's very comfortable on these difficult tracks. And as we say that, Josh actually gets the inside. If Josh can get ahead before the next corner, then Fabrizio is in a bad position. But he has the inside here. And watch Josh potentially back off. Josh has the opportunity to get on the throttle earlier, so he gets a good run out of here. This is a very fast right-hander coming up here. But look at that defensive job from Fabrizio. There's nothing Josh can do.
There's nothing he can do, and Josh using all of the track to try and open up that corner. But now,
oh, here we go!
What a move! He lined that up from
incredible.
2 corners back. I was looking at it, I was saying he's just lined that up in a masterclass of that's how you do it. So let's
exactly.
go back.
As you say, he did line that up. He got that exit. He got that power on, and he knew when to make that move. Incredible driving.
To give acknowledgement. And here we go. Let's stick with Navid for a second, because look at that. In the middle of those 2 cars is Navid. He's got James Holman to the back. He's got Rory O'Shea to the front. This and it looks like classic TCR racing.
It looks like Navid might have a little bit of damage to the front of his car. I'm not sure.
He possibly does.
I'm not sure. The dark fronts and those Audis. Oh no, it actually looks pretty okay. It's just the livery.
Bent up bonnet.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is going to be losing some air on that, but he's being smart. He's just tucking in behind the back of Rory O'Shea, and up ahead, Jason Cooper making a move. Look at that for a move. That is textbook TCR. That's great racing. Now, can Liam Matthews get he can't. I was going to say, could he get the undercut and just get on the power that a little bit earlier, but that's opened up the door for Rory O'Shea. Now let's stick with this. And
this is incredible. This is incredible. Oh, a little bit of contact.
Brian McManus now in
more contact.
Yeah.
Got Rory O'Shea off.
Navid
is dropping back.
Off. So what does that do for the championship? We don't know.
Oh my God. Jason Cooper in a great position now with Navid back. Where's Navid gone? Oh, there he is, P10. Oh my God, Navid has it all to do. He's made up so many places from P15 up to P10. He has lots and lots of work to do. If Jason has a spotter right now, Jason's spotter will be telling him that. But Jason's spotter will also have already done the calculations for the championship points. So who knows? They know more than we do at this stage.
Yeah, they probably do, Lawrence. It's just happening everywhere in the track as we go back to Brian McManus, who's now coming under all types of pressure from Wayne Douglas. And as we look back, Navid already on the hunt. Look at this. He's
incredible.
got Nicky Meredith. He's back to 11 actually. So Neil Ferris, he's got a lot of work to do. He's going to have to get past Nicky Meredith, Neil Ferris, Wayne Douglas, Brian McManus. I think he has to make it up to 5th, James Holman. But let's stick with this for a second. As we look actually back, Dave Collier is just at the back of this group. Is our Pro-Am leader at the moment, who's been hunted down by Peter McCann, of course, is in the Pro class. As Simon Wall is back down into the grid. Simon Wall losing 14 places off the top of the start of the grid. So yeah, we're gonna have to be calculators out at the end of this one, Lawrence.
Yeah, it's and you know, Dan Mould is in P3. He's having an incredible drive, but he is still more than 2 seconds behind Fabrizio. So Fabrizio is in an incredible. We're halfway through this race now. Fabrizio is in an incredible position. He has crafted himself to stay there. You know, he was P15 in the last race. He's in P2 now. He lost out to an amazing overtake from Josh Mallon, and he deserves to be there.
So Liam Matthews obviously getting a drive-through or some type of penalty, or needed to go into the pits anyways. We go back to Brian McManus and Nicky Meredith, and just stick with these guys. That's Neil Ferrer defending Brian as Brian makes that move. He's got the inside, so he's going to make that stick up to 7th place, up 9 places for McManus on a great drive. We go back now. Jason Cooper has James Holman breathing all over the back of him as we ride on board with James Holman. James actually
incredible.
really shown what he's capable of in this. He's had a couple of unfortunate races, but he really has shown that consistency and that ability to drive in the top 5. Definitely for me a contender of a championship winner very, very soon.
James Holman is looking to catch Dan Mould. He wants that P3 in the championship, which is where I think they're going to be battling for. Jason Cooper, of course, wants P1. He knows Navid is back a couple of places, but the last thing Jason Cooper wants right now is a hungry, on-form James Holman on his back bumper when he has a good second to catch Dan Mould. He doesn't even have slipstream from Dan Mould at the moment. So Jason Cooper needs to put on a performance here.
Well, just as I'm saying that, I think, and I could be wrong, but if we're doing our maths correctly in the background here, this is actually for the championship right now. If Jason Cooper can hold on to this space and Navid stays where he is, if Jason Cooper can hold on and Navid stays in 11th, this is it. There's 1 point in it. Yeah.
We couldn't place them there like if we tried. This is incredible. We've got 6 laps left of this feature race. The drama, because James Holman could take the championship away from Jason Cooper if he passes him out. That's incredible.
And as I say that, I think Victor Cullen's serving his drive-through now from the steward, so that's for an incident that we haven't seen. But just let's go back up, because this is the championship unfolding in front of our eyes. So let's keep an eye on where Navid is in 11th place. So that's where Navid is carrying damage. And if Cooper can hold off James Holman, realistically, it's going to come down to 1 point is what we're calculating at the moment. So this is unbelievable. While out in front, Josh Mallon isn't able to really get away too much, but he's got enough air between himself and Fabrizio Rivera now to feel comfortable enough. Then it's back to Dan Mould. He'll be more than happy to take that 3rd place on the podium. But look at this, Jason Cooper. And if you wanted any man not behind you to take that place, it's got to be James Holman, the machine. He's just going to keep cranking in lap after lap. If anyone is consistent and able to just wear you down with just over 6 laps to go, out of everyone, it's James Holman who you don't want to see in the rear view mirror, because he will just, he doesn't make mistakes, he rarely does, and he knows how to drive, he knows how to pass, he's a great all-round driver.
And shifting focus just slightly to Pro-Am, Dave Collier is out on his own. He of course is in he was in P4 before tonight. He was only 10 points off Michael Seal, so Michael Seal is his main competition on track right now. This could be, for Dave Collier, this could be P3 in the championship if he makes this stick. There goes Navid, does he? Oh no, Navid's getting overtaken.
He's down, so
it's definitely, I think the damage, look at the front bumper, you saw it wobbling.
Trying to hang on to his championship as we go back up in front, as Cooper is now actually closed in onto the back of, no, he couldn't have, that isn't Dan Mould, it is. So, I'm losing it here. So we've got Josh Mallon, Fabrizio, Dan, and yes, look at this, Cooper's closed in onto the back. So it's all playing out now, and as we say that, in the background we've got Brian making a move on Wayne Douglas. This racing with Steel Fair in the background.
Where do we look?
It's all happening now. So yeah, it's all going to come down to this race. Let's go back up to the front.
So we must have had a mistake from Dan Mould somewhere. Jason Cooper is not someone you want on your heels. We were talking about Jason Cooper not wanting James Holman, but James Cooper smells blood now.
This is the championship playing out in front of our very eyes. So I don't think Josh has enough points to be a contender, but definitely top 3. But as we look back down, James Cooper, if he can get past Dan Mould, I think that's it. So this is the championship we're looking at right here on track. If what I'm being told is correct in my ear, but I can't see why not. It would make sense, Lawrence, right?
Yeah, it's like I just don't know where to look, because we've got Brian McManus putting on massive pressure as well. Peter McCann's having a great drive as well. Those VR8 cars really stand out. There are all these little pods. You see a pod of 3 here, a pod of 3 behind. It's almost like they're helping each other to be, to try and catch the next pod. It's incredible racing right now. I honestly, hand on our heart, I know I'm commentating right now, but I'm also watching a spectacular race.
It is unbelievable when you see at this level as we try and get back outside as Cooper makes the move now. So this is the championship.
Oh my
You couldn't
God.
have wrote this down. And all the time this brings James Holman right onto the back of it. So let's stick with these guys for a moment. As we see in the background, McManus is making a move on Wayne Douglas. So this is the championship playing out.
Oh, and Naveed gets overtaken by Dave Collier. So Naveed's championship is slipping away from him.
In front of our eyes. How cruel is that? Now it's all going to come to this as Holman gets up the inside. Of course, Cooper's got the outside for this. He's going to get the run on him down the back.
There we go. He's got the power on now.
Yeah.
He's going to be up beside him before the corner. Here we go.
This is it. Will he just hold in there? He does. He decides to wait. Ah, this is unbelievable, Lawrence. This is what we've talked about this for years. This is what we want to see. The best of the best going at it in virtual racing, and it is every bit as real as a real race.
We could have a 3-hour race, a 12-hour race here, and I don't think it's going to get any less exciting. The drama that's happening on track could only be made more incredible by pit stop strategies or whatever, because the drama is being caused by the driving and not by incidents, which is great to see.
100%. Like, remember, these drivers have 17 incidents, right? So, but when they get to 12, they've to serve the drive-through. So we've seen a couple of drivers come through the pits to serve the drive-through, right? So that's 12 track cuts as we're on lap 12. So that's one wheel off a lap. That's how clean these guys are driving. And you know it, to drive this close we've been watching this for 3 laps now. That is hard.
Oh, it's so difficult. And to drive on pace, because on a track like this, if you go off your line slightly, you lose a lot of time. You're going to be nowhere near your personal best. And watch the exit now from Cooper is going to be incredible to see. Will he do what Josh did and leave it till after this little kink and try and dive up that inside? It doesn't seem to be catching him too quickly right now. But here we go. He's definitely reminding him that he's there.
Dan going defensive, and all the time in the background, I'm just thinking what's going through James Holman's head. He's a racer. He'll be loving this. He's going, I'll let these guys play this out all they want, and I'll just capitalize. But up front, all of a sudden, sorry, just coming in, Fabrizio wasn't done either with Josh Malin. So those guys are back on. We go back to these 3. So Jason Cooper trying to get the move done on Dan. James Holman, keep your foot in.
Oh my God.
That is classic TCR race right there. So he's getting bumped along by James, is saying, come on, giddy up. We got to get back onto the back bumper of Dan. While all the time up front, this race is still going on. I just don't know. Look at that for sector time. Sector 1's nothing in it.
Incredible.
Oh, man.
Absolutely incredible. Like, and for Fabrizio to be putting it up to Josh like this, just fantastic stuff.
Yeah, and let's not just quickly, Dave Collier is leading our Pro-Am all on his own, so there's a race happening back there for the championship as well. Let's go back to Jason Cooper, because this is the championship potential winner right here. This is his drive. If he brings it home, I believe even in this position, he may not know that yet. His spotter might be telling him, but he potentially takes the championship here.
And what about this for a charge? I remember you saying Jordan Kelly's name earlier. He was in P21, P22. He's up to P11.
Wow, that is unbelievable. Let's go out to our leaders again. I just don't know where to look in this. So we've got Josh Malin, Fabrizio, just not taking second place, and behind him we've got Jason Cooper closing back in on to the back of Dan Mould again, with James Holman all the time sitting there saying, come on, we got to get up in this as we go back to our leaders. I'm just wondering, like, as we said, it was going to be around lap 12, 13, that tire management was really going to come into this, and I'm just wondering, has Fabrizio just been sitting back managing those tires, and now he's ready to pounce all over the back of,
look, he's forcing mistakes here. Like, this could be Fabrizio could take this back, and if you keep an eye on Jason Cooper's car, you can tell a lot by the shapes he's throwing with his car. Every time, every single straight, every corner, he is getting ready. So he's not defending anymore. He's in all-out attack mode, and his pace is incredible. I would be very worried if I was Dan Mould. I would also be very worried about potentially getting caught up in an incident with Jason Cooper if I was Dan Mould, because his real rival on track there is James Holman and not Jason Cooper.
As we look out to the front runners again, so Fabrizio this time closer, he's going to have a look. I think on the brakes,
my God!
is he going to make it happen? Josh just cutting him off, but giving him enough space. That's fair racing.
Yeah,
as we look
fair
back
racing.
now, Holman's made the move on
Jeez.
Cooper. Oh my God!
Oh my God! Oh my God! Here we go.
As we look down, so now I don't know. Navid in 15th place. I
So
don't know.
Cooper in all-out attack mode forgot about the potency of James Holman and the fact that James Holman was, and here he comes back for another move. This is going to be, oh my God, this is so tense.
Like,
Watch the
this-
cut back here.
here
Oh
we
yeah,
go.
Jason Cooper's had to back out. He's lost a bit of time there.
He has indeed, and that's old racing head on James Holman, back him up into the apex and delay that pressing the accelerator. So James shown his racing skills there. But let's go back up front, because we're on lap 14. It's Josh Mallon from Fabrizio. Fabrizio not let him go. And then look at that in the background, got Dan Mould being hunted down now by James Holman. And Jason Cooper in the background. I don't think Jason realizes this is for championship, as he's
Oh
right
my
on
God.
the back bumper, right on the back bumper.
Navid all the way down in P16. You have to feel for him. Like, he is still my driver of the championship regardless of what happens. Navid has been incredible. Very unlucky in this race.
Yeah, it has to be said. Just damage on his car, and he's fallen back down. He's in P16 now. What a race. As we go back up the front, you've got Josh Mallon, but look at the background. These guys going at it. Dan Mould trying to hold off. James Holman wants that third place, as you said, and all the time you've got Jason Cooper, who probably doesn't realize at this stage this is his championship winning drive. He should just be backing off and bringing that car home. It's white flag lap.
As I say, these guys, their mentality is that the car in front of them is P1.
Yeah.
And then when they pass them out, the next car is P1. That's all they care about, is getting through that next car.
And this is the final lap of the IDMC Pro TCR Championship. I've nearly got a lump in my throat saying that as we watch Fabrizio close. And he's making
Oh,
the
here's the move!
And he's got it done, but look at the back.
Oh, no, the comeback! Oh,
my
Jesus
God,
Christ.
it's all happening. So
Great work with the camera there. We got to see both of those entries. Well done.
So
Oh my God.
in the background, it's all happening as well. So I give up. I give up at this stage. I'm done.
Oh,
I just can't watch this anymore. In the
Fabrizio
background,
has-
Jason Cooper has run it. Got it on Holman. Holman
Here
goes
we go.
defensive.
Holman defensive, yes. And here we go, the cutback.
I don't
Oh
know
my
what to
God.
watch.
I don't know what to watch either. Like, we know Cooper has struggled here
and there's
to
a mistake in the background from Dan Mould. So
Oof.
Cooper. No,
Lads.
Holman has managed to go defensive, just hold him off. But lads, I'm done.
This is incredible. Look at those times. Look how close people are. We're on lap 15 of 15 of this feature race. Josh Mallon has pulled about 6/10 now after Fabrizio with a very, very brave and valiant David and Goliath move at the end.
So there we are.
And Josh,
Josh
there we go.
Mallon taking it, but who's in the background, because is it
Oh.
Cooper to the line? No. What
So,
a finish,
I-
but we think, and we're pretty sure that because Navid is down in 16th place with that damaged car, we're gonna have to wait. I'm being told in my ear there's calculators out and everything, but it's Dave Collier as well who takes the win, and possibly we gotta wait for the calculators to come out. Of course, there will be incidents and points to be done anyway at the end of this race. Dave Collier taking the championship winning drive.
And this is the great thing
Pro-Am.
tonight. The amount of incidents has been minimal. They've been very tight racing incidents, and it's incredible. Of course, people make mistakes and stuff, but you would see more incidents in a real race than you've seen here. And as people in the chat have said, the cars are virtual, but this is real racing.
And look at these two guys on pole for the race: Adam Dowling, Tony Stack. Like, it just shows what can happen. You're on pole 1 minute. Some incidents and you're straight back. Guys, get your racer, your driver of this in. I don't know, pick any of them. I couldn't do it. If I put you on the spot, who would you go for, Lawrence?
Driver of the day today. Oh man, like there have been so many, and with the two races, it's always difficult to tell because your last race is freshest in your memory. We've almost forgotten what's happened in race one, so I haven't made notes. But I mean, Josh has been incredible. His pace, his discipline, has been just very very good. So I think in the pro class, he's definitely been my driver of the race.
Yeah, 100%. And for me, I've got, who can I pull in for an interview? Let's go to some interviews here and see. But let's talk to Josh Malin, who was the winner of our feature race. Josh, I know you've just crossed the line. You're bringing the car around. We're live with you as you're bringing the car into the pits. Talk us through that race. Unbelievable. You just probably drove the race of the IDMC, I would say at this stage, at Fabrizio hunting you down every lap. Talk us through it.
Oh well, I got a good getaway and managed to avoid some of the carnage around me. It wasn't too much carnage, which was good to see. But I just picked my way through place by place, and eventually I got to Fabrizio, and he was really on it tonight. So credit to Fabrizio, he had really good pace today, and didn't give me an easy time, that's for sure. But yeah, managed to sort of hold on to it and grab the win.
We saw, Josh, at times you were being very, very disciplined. Do you think that your real life racing came into play today? Did you realize kind of, what was at stake, or is it different when you're in a simulator?
Some of the real world elements are taken over into the sim racing sort of world. I'd say that the real life racing certainly did help, not defending so much when I didn't need to, and just generally trying to be as clean as possible, because I kind of treat the sim how I treat the real life racing. I always sort of go for a gap and try and make it stick, and I don't really want to be causing too much damage. So yeah, I try and keep it as clean as possible, and yeah, I really enjoy that one.
Yeah, unbelievable. We're just looking at the results here. So in my ear as we're speaking, I've got Ronan and Rob and Sean. Everyone's trying to figure this out, because from a feature race point of view, Josh, we don't know who's actually won at this stage. So we're just getting calculators out. Like, unbelievably, Navid finished in 15th place on the last lap, and that is significant, that 15 points. So of course, James Cooper scoring 30 points in the last race. But I don't think you were in the running with the drop rounds to take this championship. But of course, taking the win, and certainly two great races, Josh. You've really gelled with these TCR cars. How are you transferring this back to what you're doing in the Porsche Cup, and like how much is the racing here in Digital Motorsports compared to what you've experienced so far in the Porsche Cup?
I mean, the TCRs, first off, the TCRs are a much sort of different beast to the Carrera Cup cars. Obviously, they're front wheel drive and they're a totally different dynamics. You've got to drive them very differently. So it has been a challenge this season, I have to say. I mean, it was more so than the USF 2000s last season. And I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed driving the TCRs, but sometimes they can be, in terms of practicing, they can be very tedious in terms of trying to find those last couple of tenths. But with regards to it sort of helping me in the real world, again, sim practice always helps racecraft from my point of view, at least, especially running with close cars, much like we do in this championship. So yeah, it does do a lot more favors for me than you'd initially think.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I've one more little question. The last lap there, Fabrizio made a very valiant, brave move. You saw it, you seemed to read it, and you seemed to be ready to react before the move was even a quarter of the way through. Is that what happened? Did it take you by surprise? Can you talk us through that?
I mean, I'm just looking at it now. Obviously, the toe in these TCR cars are quite strong. I saw him pull out last minute, and I just thought, yeah, you've sort of slightly overshot it,
Yeah.
so I just got the cut back and got as good an exit as I could have done, and sort of driven on from there. So it's part looking in your mirrors, part looking ahead, and it can be quite sort of distracting at times. But it was a great race by Fabrizio and a fair sort of effort for having a go. But I was able to read it and get the cut back.
Well, fantastic win, Josh. What we're going to do now, we'll give you an opportunity to just shout out to anyone you want to say hello to, and then we're going to bring in Jason Cooper and Navid with the points are in, and we're going to live let the guys know just how close it was. So I'll let you give a shout out.
Yeah, sure. I mean, shout out to you guys at Digital Motorsports for hosting this fantastic championship. It's been great this season, and sorry I couldn't attend all the events due to real life racing commitments. To my friends and my family who've been watching, I really appreciate all the support. My real world sponsors, Damien from the Car Guys, Mike from Ashgood Porsche, and also to my girlfriend Alice, who actually came to Brands Hatch with me at the weekend and been my rock in terms of support. So thank you, honey. I really appreciate it.
Super duper. Josh Malin, thanks for turning up racing so hard. Our feature race winner. We'll see you again, hopefully out in the V8s, Josh.
100%. See you then.
See you then. Right. Let me see if we can do this. So I'm going to bring in Navid and Jason Cooper. So two guys, we don't usually do this. I think Navid has dropped off. Jason, are you there? Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
So cracking race. You had, I don't know, you Dan Mold at one stage, and you had James Holman behind you. It was bumper to bumper the whole way. I don't think you were as aware how relevant that position was in terms of the championship or not.
No, not really, actually. I was looking at the box.
Navid's jumped in. So we got the two guys. We got Jason Cooper and Navid.
Sorry.
Sorry, I pulled you back in. But what we're going to do live right now is because the guys are working out the points. It was that close, guys. So, Jason, talk us through from your point of view. You ended up in 5th place, just losing 4th to James Holman. We were following that so close, and then we'll go to you, Navid.
Yeah, we had a good start to the race. There was a couple of accidents. Got tapped into a couple of slides. People being a bit ambitious under braking at the hairpin. But after that, it was a pretty good race. James had a bit more pace at the end, and Dan was defending pretty hard. And just didn't want to max out on the incident points and lose it all. So
you had one incident there where we seen you just had to keep your foot in it. Really, I think it was going through turn 9 or 10, where you got a tap, and I thought that was it, but you managed to keep your foot in, keep the front of that car going, and losing the place to James Holman, but that ultimately gave you 5th place with 30 points. And then moving over to you, Navid, like at one point you were in 16th place, and then we have got the points now, guys, in, so we'll let you know in a second. But it's like a boxing match. It's down to single points. So Navid, you were in 16th, I think, at one stage, and then on the last lap, did you make it back up to 15th place? Talk us through that.
Oh, I'm not sure at all, Niall. The last maybe 5 or 6 laps, I had 11x, and I was just trying to keep it clean, and the car had no straight line speed, so I was just kind of letting people pass. I wasn't really trying to pass anyone. So if I passed someone, it must have been by a retirement or something, because I wasn't getting by anybody on the straights or anything like that. So,
So what I'm gonna say is, I'm being told that my microphone is it's gone to, I won't say what, but we're put up the championship points.
You're good now. Now.
Lawrence, I'll let you, if you can see the screen there, you can tell the guys what way this has panned out.
So the championship points that we see there, they are the is that with the drop round? No, they're the ones we already had, are they?
No,
they're
that's it. After this race, so you cannot drop. That's what the point of this was. You can't drop this round. So as you see the points on the screen, Lawrence, that's what we have.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I see it. Oh my God, it's like, again, I don't know where to look. Incredible. So Navid ends up still taking it in the end. Had enough of a gap. Jason, you fought incredibly well. I mean, I'm not sure if you were aware, you were in a Dan Mold and James Holman sandwich there, but you see how close they are. They were fighting. that's why they were fighting so hard, is because they were fighting for P3. You were pretty much always, as long as you had a clean race, you were always going to be P1 or P2. How do you feel after that race? You could not have done much more, could you?
Yeah, I haven't even got my own steering wheel. My steering wheel's had to go back to Cube in Italy to be fixed. So I've had to steal a steering wheel off my road car to put on my Simicube to race tonight. I normally got a 280mm Formula wheel, and I've got a 350mm round thing, which is a bit strange to drive with. And I got my sequential sifter like I did last week. But,
oh man.
Yeah. So it started off really well, and tailed off a bit at the end. I think the other guys figured the car out a bit. Navid's been the pace all season, and especially with his feature races, his first couple of laps is mega in those. So,
yeah, well,
really deserves it.
Hats off to Navid, who is our TCR Cup champion. Navid, a couple of words, and I'm sure you want to give a shout out to some people who supported you through this.
Yeah, it's a shock. I got to say, it's a shock. I remember the first season I did with you guys. I think I finished like 26th in the TCRs. I think my best result was like a 7th. So just the past year and a half, I've been plugging away, trying to get quicker and practice. I suppose the only thing you can do. And yeah, I'm just chuffed. I don't really know what to say. It's been a tough few races, but it's been a great battle with everybody. And Jason, it's been really,
it's a shame. It's a shame we didn't get too many races together. Really,
no, Donington really was the only one we were really dicing. Actually, Charlotte as well. Had a good dice, but hey, look, I'll be there in the officials if you ever want to have a good dice.
you guys should keep your heads very, very high, because the amount of shout outs you've gotten for driver of the day is incredible. And you're driving, that. If you were causing incidents and stuff like that, none of that would be happening. So you should be very proud, and I really hope to see you battling out for top spot again in the next championship.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So again, big shout, Jason. Like, you drove your heart out. Second place, as Lawrence was saying, it's nothing to be ashamed of at all. We were talking all through the stream about just the quality and the consistency and the pace that's been in this TCR championship. A solid race. At one stage we thought you had it, but Navid, you kept in it, and as we say, if you're going to win it, you got to cross the line, right? So our 2021 TCR IDMC Spring champion, Navid, in the pro class. Congratulations, Navid.
Thank you so much. Thanks everybody.
Great. We're
well done, man. Well done.
A quick word as we were saying that. I was hoping we could get Sean McGovern, but I don't see him in there at the moment, Lawrence. So unfortunately, we're not going to get words. But one man I do want to have a talk to, and there's always a wealth of information, is James Holman, who finishes 4th in the championship. I don't know if you're aware of that yet, James. But great racing, great battling. Talk us through that feature race from your end.
Yeah, I knew I had to get Dan there to. I wasn't sure 100% of the points, but I thought I had to get him to get 3rd. So as it turns out, we would have been tied, and I think he probably would have got the 3rd anyway on the count back anyway with his win there last time out. So, but anyway, I was just thought to myself, go for it. Nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We saw you put Jason Cooper in some very difficult positions. He was attacking, he was defending, and at one stage you caught him, and it looked like you were going to do the job on Dan. It was absolutely incredible for us to watch. Were you aware, or were you thinking about the fact that Jason was going for the championship, or was Dan your only focus?
I knew that Jason was obviously in the fight. I kind of worked out after the first race that Navid had pretty much clinched it. Now I know I seen Navid get wiped out in front of me, so I thought Jason, but I knew Jason probably had to finish in the top 2 to win it. So and when I see the top 2 away, I gave Jason 4 or 5 laps to try and get past that. Initially, I tried going past Jason, and then once that failed, I thought, right, I'll give Jason a few laps to try and unseat Dan, and then when it when he didn't do that, I thought, right, now I've got to get involved myself and try and take care of business myself, which I nearly
we
did.
saw that moment. We saw the moment you started making a move, and we were trying to focus on 2 or 3 battles at a time. We didn't know where to look, and people in the chat were going nuts. Nobody knew where to look. So thanks a million for incredible entertainment.
No, I say it was a fantastic season, and thank you to obviously Digital Motorsport for putting on a great season. Had a fantastic time, good racing as always. Yeah, 1 or 2 incidents throughout, it always happens, but yeah, no, I was absolutely delighted, and say thank you to Welsh Media for sponsoring me for the season, and big shout out to my mum. She's going through some health issues at the minute, and I love you, mum, and say hopefully I'll see you soon.
That's great.
We wish her the
James,
best of luck
wish you
and
the best of luck.
speedy recovery.
100%.
Thank you very much.
I called it out, James. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say
Still there, Niall? I see we've got Dan in the house as well. Dan, you fought for your life as well. I've already asked James, already asked Jason. You guys were in a hell of a pack. Were you aware of what was at stake?
I just knew that we was trying to do the math on the go. Me, Paul, and Naveed. I just knew that me and James were very, very close after the race one. So I just knew that if I beat him, I'd be in for a chance. And then obviously Naveed had his issues, and I had the guys in the Ignium chat saying, you need to hold up Jason. I was like, I can't hold up Jason. He's too quick.
It's incredible because I would almost think that if you had only James behind you or only Jason behind you, you would have had an even harder time because they were so quick. They were keeping each other busy, and it allowed you to concentrate, allowed you to keep that little bit of a gap. You must have been delighted to see them battling your mirrors.
Well, there was a couple of corners where I purposely slowed down to back them 2 up so they'd have a bit of a battle, and then it worked. It opened up a gap.
Yeah, we saw that.
But going into the last lap, I was on the 11X. I was like, oh my god! And I had Holman right at my backside. I was like, please do not touch me, And it was so. I mean, above all everything, no matter where you finish, the racing has been, especially these last 2 rounds for me, have been impeccable. I've really enjoyed the last 2 rounds. I mean, at the start, I had a few collisions with people. I was like, oh, this, what's the point? But I stuck with it, and and I've kept my head down, and it met some great people, and this is what we do it for, isn't it?
Yeah. We could. I mean, like you would have. You would be beaming like this if you had found this racing absolutely anywhere. If it was your friends in a public lobby or whatever, you really enjoyed that by the looks of it. And I saw you make those moves. I saw you be very disciplined to focus on your exit, because the exit was where they were going to catch you, not the entry. Your positioning was incredible, and it was just it really was a joy to watch. You were frustrating the hell out of them. You must be pretty proud.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I did not have the pace. They were probably 2 or 3 tenths quicker than me. Plus, they had the draft. So yeah, it was all about positioning your car, and just hoping, them two were sensible, at the same time, which they were. Quality racers. So yeah, you haven't got to be fast to be ahead, as it shows. You just got to defend well, and yeah, I'm pleased. I really am.
You're definitely not slow, because you got to that position in the first place and you kept it. The discipline was incredible. Everybody drove amazingly. Even people, we were watching battles down in P10, 11, 12. It was incredible. We saw Fabrizio, who finished 15th and started at the front of the grid and managed to push Josh over the line and get a well-deserved P2. As you say, the standard is just incredible. And speaking of the devil, it looks like we actually have Fabrizio in the house. Dan, before we let you go, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Congratulations to the winners, Naveed. I'm not sure who won the Pro-Ams.
Sean McGovern. We're
Sean
looking
McGovern.
for Sean to jump in, but he's left Discord. He's obviously running around somewhere celebrating. And
Yeah. So, yeah, congrats and everyone taking part. Met some good people in here. Thanks to Paul and Naveed and the rest of the Ignium crew. It's been a joy, and thanks to you guys for running it. Hopefully get involved again.
Mate. Oh yeah, for sure. Great racing. Okay, we're going to take one more. Fabrizio, if you're there, we were absolutely mesmerized by that racing. Talk us through that feature race, and in the end, getting pipped by Josh Malin, but you were certainly holding your own and doing some great racing there.
Yeah, it was great. It was a fantastic race. After that collision between all those cars, I remember seeing the red car in the mirror, and I thought, oh, this is about to happen. So I just about stopped in the middle of the track, and everyone just crashed in front of me. It was just like Moses, the sea had parted, and it was great. After that, Josh was catching quickly. I mean, he's been faster all championship long. Like he's been faster than me, so it was no surprise. But come the I would say last third of the race,
Yeah.
I was stuck on his bumper again, which was a surprise because I knew that draft was strong, but I didn't think I'd be quick enough even with draft to stay with him.
I almost feel, Fabrizio, that we owe you a little bit of an apology because we saw you get to the front, and you're obviously one of the quickest guys on track because of where you were on the track. But you know how good Josh is, and Josh, he usually when there's someone with him, when he's within striking distance, he will do everything he can. He's a very experienced driver. How did it feel being chased down by him and eventually being passed by him?
I mean, it was great because even though he won in the end, and we had a fantastic fight, which is to me what matters. Like I actually prefer to be second after this battle than to be first, like after a boring race. So it was great. It was great because it was fantastically clean. Me and Josh gave each other room, and it was great.
You may have been incredibly happy in second place and enjoying the racing, but that didn't stop you from trying on the last lap, did it?
Oh, hell no. I was always going to send it. If you could see me right now, I have an Ayrton Senna shirt. I'm not even joking right now. This is an Ayrton Senna shirt, so I was always going to send it. I knew that I would have a chance. I think I left the braking a little bit too late. I braked as late as I could have possibly braked. I think with of course hindsight 2020, but I think I could have pipped him just if I braked at my normal braking marker. We would have rubbed fenders a bit, but I think I could have. But in the end, I'm happy because I've had no pace all season. I've just gone by just staying out of trouble mostly, and getting points when I could, and getting a podium is really nice for me. It's nice for the team because it really shows that we've been working hard.
100%.
Nice.
Well, we're gonna wrap that up, but guess who's just popped in to say hello? It's our Pro-Am champion. Sean McGovern has managed to get his Wi-Fi and his phone hooked up. So Fabrizio, we'll let you give a shout out, and then we're going to go to our Pro-Am champion, Sean McGovern.
I just want to thank Hypre, Concert Mood. They've been fantastic to work with. I want to thank Pix. He's the engine of it all. He's fantastic. I want to thank Alex, Rory, my teammate. He's fantastic. So it's fantastic to work like this, and I couldn't ask for a better team.
Okay.
Nice one, Fabrizio.
We'll see you again soon. Okay.
Bye.
Let's I think I just go for Fabrizio. Sorry about that. But we've got Sean McGovern. Hopefully he's there. Sean, are you there? No.
Yeah, hello.
There he is.
He is. Yay. We've got Sean McGovern. You're there. Sean, we've calculated up the points. We thought the feature race had just not gone your way, but in actual fact, you have managed to win the Pro-Am Championship. Talk us through it.
Yeah, no, first race was all right. I finished in behind Simon, which is all I really needed, I think. And then second race, I got taken out, and I managed to get it back on the track. And with 11 out of 12 instant points, managed to just limp it around.
Like what was it like? You're battling for your life, and you've got all these pro class drivers driving beside you. Did you feel like they were in a different class, or like were you aware of the fact that they were fighting for a different championship? How did that feel, and how did you stay consistent throughout the season?
Well, I knew it wasn't really my race between them, so I just kind of let them off and just battled my own race. I kind of just focused on whoever was behind me in the season, and just as long as I stay ahead of them, I'd be fine.
Yeah, well, we were commentating on it, Sean, and we were saying like, you know, this is your last pro-am season because you had
Yeah.
an awful lot of pro drivers banging doors with you, and you were, I think at one stage you were up to P3 overall, P3 or 4 in the overall race. You've really shown what you're capable of in these TCR cars and in digital motorsports and in the simulator, as it is. So, you know, you ended up, I think, 15 points ahead of Simon Wall with Dave Collier. I know you know those guys well.
Yeah.
And you know, then you got Michael Seal, Mark Burney, Victor Cullen down in 6th place. It was all up for grabs, and I'm sure your heart just sunk when that incident happened. It looked quite nasty. We heard it was a push in the back that just sent you across
Yeah.
2 other cars, and then at that stage, yeah, your race was over. But you decided not to
Yeah.
rage quit, as we
Kept
say,
going.
and just keep it going. So you limped around and
Exactly.
took the championship with that. So hats off to you, Sean.
Yeah, I kind of got lucky that Simon went off. I didn't think anything would happen. I just kept going around, and I looked at the results, and he ended up behind me. So I was happy with that.
Yeah, he ended up in P30 in the end, with yourself 28. Of course, incidents had to be sent in, and as it stands, you're the championship leader. So well done on taking the pro-am. We look forward to seeing you out next in the V8s. Hopefully, have Harry back as well because you guys race quite well. But we've been
Yeah.
watching you progress up through the ranks. We called it out at the start that you know it wouldn't be long until you were top of the leaderboard, and here you are. So we look forward to
Cheers. Thanks, man.
see what you can do in the pro class next time around. So,
Yeah.
anyone who want to give a shout out to before we wrap up the stream?
Just everyone that could make the championship happen. It was great racing with them.
Yeah, 100%. And same thing to you, Sean. It's great to see you out racing with us. So I'll let you off. Lawrence, where
Yes,
do we go
sir.
from here? What do we do? Like,
Well, we need another beer.
I've got a beer here. I'm opening
Yeah.
mine. Look, what better way to wrap this up? We've got so much, I'm sure you do as well in your stream. Just there's so much going on in the community right now, and there's such a good vibe happening across all of the different platforms, all of the different Discord channels. Everything is just, you know, what we've all dreamt about. Tonight's racing just proves that it deserves all of the you know, the platitudes it gets, that the FIA are getting involved, that Motorsport Ireland want to get involved and put a push on this. We've seen racing of the highest standards, and for people who've never tried sim racing or have never, you know, certainly come down to Mondello. We're going to be opening back up there very soon. Just knock on the door, come in and ask, give it a go, because that's how you figure out the difference between what I call gaming, what you would call gaming, Lawrence. You know, hand controls. It's entertaining, it's fun, it's certainly addictive as well in terms of, you know, its entertainment value. But believe me, when you sit into a simulator, it doesn't have to be the most top end, high end, right, Lawrence? It just has to be set up right, and it has to be
Exactly. Exactly. It
to
has to suit you. You have to.
reward you, right? And
Exactly.
once
And
you
all it.
do that, and you've had a race like these guys have had tonight, that is every bit as good as sitting into a real race car
Oh,
and going out racing.
to have a race like that with the stakes so high and with so many people battling for different reasons, that is exactly what you want. You want races like this every single week. If you could guarantee them, you would pay a hell of a lot of money. I remember talking to you years ago, and we said there's something incredible about motorsport in general, but motorsport in Ireland, and we wanted to escalate people to, you know, the forefront, to the highest standard. So much so, this is happening right now. Yes, we see a lot of Irish flags on the board, but look at all the international attention. People are taking this incredibly seriously, and it's all from, you know, a little bit of a pipe dream with simulators, and we've got real drivers racing with us here, with people who can only ever dream, who've never even sat in a real race car, and they're rubbing shoulders on track because of the accessibility. That's exciting.
And we've got so much. Just stay tuned to this. Like, we could talk all day. The biggest news we're going to drop right now is, remember, get your driver in of this race, and we'll announce that tomorrow on the socials. But Lawrence, we're going to the ADAC Sim Expo. How cool is that going to be?
It's going to be absolutely incredible. I already have loads of things that I want to see and do there, but just being part of that, the fact that there is a sim racing expo, and you know what? It used to be sim racing people invading motorsports expos, but a little birdie tells me that there are going to be motorsports companies that are actually going to be at the sim racing expo
Absolutely.
to promote motorsport. That's how far we've come in the last couple of years. That's exciting. That's why we do this.
100%. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to wrap up this stream. There's like Jack, Kevin, we're going to end up by just saying, you guys make this. We know you tried everything to be on the stream tonight. Stay safe. We're not through this yet, everyone. You know, we're in it together. We're getting there. I just can't wait for the V8 stuff. I just blown away by this. If this is what we did in TCRs, V8 is just going to be mind blowing. Of course, Jack and Kevin will be back with us. But I'm going to say this, Lawrence. I think your debut in commentary, we may have to get you back. I know you got the wife and the kids upstairs, and you know you put your heart and soul into your own channel. So if you haven't already done so, make sure and check out Lawrence's YouTube and join his Discord and hit the like and subscribe button and show some support for Lawrence as well.
Thanks a minute. Thanks for the ongoing support as well, and thanks for it. Like everybody on the stream, I saw a lot of people from my community on the stream as well, really bigging this up. But the best thing was that they were reacting to the racing, and I'm not creating this racing. I may have brought a few people here tonight, but they are going to come back for the racing whether I'm here or not. Trying to fill the shoes of Jack and Kevin when you called me a couple of hours ago and I had no preparation,
know, right?
no commentary done ever. I was a little bit nervous and I almost immediately said no, followed by, yeah, actually we should do this because look, it worked out okay. I'm not here to take their jobs. I have a massive amount of respect for what they have to do and what they have to go through. And I'm not sure I want to do it every single week, but this has been a lot of fun. Thanks a million for the opportunity, and thanks for the kind words.
No problem, Lawrence. Your voice is gone. My voice is gone. We don't want to do this again. Kevin, Jack, we're going to have you back for the V8s. It's going to be happening real soon. Make sure and sign up to, as I said, Lawrence, make sure and keep an eye tomorrow on the Digital-Motorsports socials. We'll be naming that winner of that SIMTAG awesome prize, so keep an eye for that. We'll then be opening up the qualifying rounds for the V8 championships, and it's all going to be coming back really, really soon. Before we sign off, just a huge thanks, as always, to our sponsors who make all this happen. We can't do it without them. So all the races are run in association with Motorsport Ireland, of course. SimiCube, great partner of ours. We love SimiCube products, everything they do. They just keep bringing it. SIMTAG pedals, we've got those pedals to give out after this race. And of course, Lawrence for coming along, and we've got some really exciting news coming your way very, very soon about this ESE group and what that's all about. So stay tuned. But as it is, from IDMC, from Lawrence and myself, Niall Marr, we're signing off for tonight. Go have a beer, Lawrence. That's it.
See you later.
Slán.